The Donald Trump administration is moving so fast that the left doesn't even know what to be mad at anymore.
Right. In any case, there is no Trump family crest.
Rachel Maddow gave a completely unhinged report on her show about Donald Trump's family crest, his new challenge coin, and whether or not Spain is a BRICS nation. As if the American people care about any of those things when they're trying to put food on the table. And it's not as if any of those things would make us forget about the last 4 years that have been rife with embarrassment under Biden.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
But there is a crest that was on the wall at Mar-a-Lago when Trump bought Mar-a-Lago, when he bought that house in Florida in the 1980s. And it is somebody else's family crest. It's the family crest of the ex-husband of the lady who built that house.
Hang on a second. Mar-a-Lago was built by a lady? Nope. Built for a woman, not built by a woman.
His name was Davies. His family was originally from Wales, and he actually had an official family crest, and that was it. And while he lived at Mar-a-Lago, because he was married to the woman who owned Mar-a-Lago, he put up his family crest on the wall as a decoration. And then, in what was perhaps a critical error, he apparently neglected to take it down when he left, and the family ultimately sold the house.
If this Davies guy was so concerned about preserving his crest, why didn't he take it with him when he left?
And so when Donald Trump moved in there in the 1980s, the crest was still there, and Donald Trump took it. He took that other guy's family crest and proclaimed it as the Trump family crest.
You know what? That sounds exactly like what Donald Trump would do. He bought the house. The crest was in the house. It's his crest. It's not like this Davies family crest is some, ancient artifact or something. If you want a family crest, I'm pretty sure you can go online and for about $15, you can get your very own family crest.
It is not theirs. It has nothing to do with them at all. Now, the Davies family, whose crest it actually was, they were apparently horrified that Trump took it down and started using it as if it was his own.
Nope. So Davies died in 1958, which is why he didn't take his crest with him. And Trump has been using a slightly altered version of his family crest as the logo for the Trump Organization since the late 1980s.
They were particularly horrified when it turned out that Trump did make one change to the crest. Because in addition to all the decorative and symbolic elements that, dragons and stuff.
All coat of arms have some sort of dragon or, lions or knights or something like that on it. You can look up any fraternity in the United States is going to have some sort of coat of arms, and it's going to look something like this. It's going to have knights and dragons and spears and swords and stuff like that on it. And all it is just the decoration of a coat of arms, which is basically a flag for a family name.
The crest did have one word on it written across the bottom in that little sort of swoopy scroll. You can see it there on the right. Trump did make a change to that. He erased that word in the little scroll and instead just put the word Trump there. The word he erased was integritas, which is how you say integrity in Latin. So to sum it up, Donald Trump stole somebody else's family crest without permission and then literally removed the integrity and put Trump in instead of integrity.
That seems pretty honest of him, actually, to remove the word integrity from his stolen family crest.
Which is an embarrassing thing in terms of family stuff. But you know what's more embarrassing?
Here it comes. Here's the part where she's going to try to convince you that you should be embarrassed because of Donald Trump and his family crest and his challenge coin.
Since he has started this second term as president of the United States, Donald Trump has reportedly intervened personally. He has found the time to take a personal interest in the creation of a new official White House presidential challenge coin. You know what a challenge coin is?
She is seriously so smarmy and condescending. She's like a lesbian Tucker Carlson.
When the military was the only institution that had challenge coins, they were like a pretty sober and important thing. They were a real sign of respect, real symbolic value, really meant something to be given one of these things. Now all sorts of people and institutions use challenge coins, and so they've become more of an all-purpose tchotchke, like a keepsake.
Right there, you've already blown the whole premise to this whole thing by making us realize that these things don't matter. These challenge coins aren't important. According to you, they're just an all-purpose tchotchke. So who cares?
Trump, since he has been president, he has reportedly found the time in the midst of everything else that needs to be done when you're president.
Let me get this straight. Your argument is against him having enough work ethic to not only get more done in the first 2 weeks in office than the previous guy did in 2 years, but that he also has time to do things that he enjoys. That's your big gripe?
You're trying your best, but it never feels like enough.
He has found the time to personally choose the design for the official White House challenge coin. And he has apparently insisted that it had to have the Trump family crest embossed on the back of it. So now we, as a country, have an official White House coin that has embossed on it the stolen Joseph Davies family crest, except with the word integrity scratched out and the word Trump there instead. And actually, we just found a picture of it tonight after this intervention by Trump was first reported by the Wall Street Journal. For the White House version of the stolen family crest, they appear to have written in both Donald and Trump and not just Trump. So that means it's getting worse over time.
By worse over time, do you mean like the previous guy's elderly dementia?
4 more years. Pause.
There it is. Donald Trump. The big one at the top there. Yeah. That's not your family crest. We should just note, like, for future archaeologists who may dig up that particular coin in the ruins of what used to be the American Republic.
And there it is. She said the quiet part out loud. She wants America to be destroyed. She wants archaeologists to dig up our bones and to dig up that challenge coin in the ruins of what used to be the American Republic.
Just gonna note for the record here, more than half the country did not sign up for that embarrassment.
She must also be including the 12 million illegal aliens.
Also, sorry to the Davies family. Sorry about your crest. A good remember to take all your stuff and change the locks when you move out. You never know who's coming in behind you or what kind of morals they might have.
That has to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Who changes the locks when they move out? You change the locks when you move in because someone might have the key to the locks, you know, the people that moved out. You don't change the locks when you move out of a place because you're going to change the locks at the place you move into.
So that's embarrassing.
There she goes again, sowing those seeds of embarrassment. She really wants you to be embarrassed, but I don't see anything here to be embarrassed about. None of this stuff matters nearly as much as 4 years of Joe Biden sniffing kids and showering with his daughter.
Do you know what the BRICS nations are? The BRICS organization of countries?
No, Rachel, most of us don't know what the BRICS nations are. We're too busy working in factories and trying to provide for our families to care about the BRICS nations. But do please tell us.
It's an intergovernmental organization of countries. And there's all different kinds of these intergovernmental organizations. There's like the G7 and the G20, and there's, you know, OPEC and the African Union and the Arab League. There's also another one of these groups, the intergovernmental group, that's called BRICS. And they meet every year. And last week, President Trump was sitting in the Oval Office. He was talking to reporters for some reason about how mad he was at Spain. He was explaining to reporters that he thought Spain was terrible. Spain should be ashamed of itself. Spain is bad. He said to reporters, quote, "They are a BRICS nation. Spain. You know what a BRICS nation is? You'll figure it out. And if the BRICS nations want to do that, that's okay. But we're going to put at least a 100% tariff on the business they do with the United States."
Okay, so what, Rachel? If Donald Trump pisses off Spain, how is that going to affect me? How is that going to change the price of my grocery bill?
He continued, quote, "You know what the BRICS is, right? You guys know. You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying." Yeah, Spain's really going to get it. Because Spain is a BRICS nation. You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying. BRICS is an acronym. It stands for the first letters of the first 5 countries that formed the BRICS organization. BRICS, B-R-I-C-S. Brazil, B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, S, S, S. What does the S stand for? Does it stand for Spain? No, it does not. The S in BRICS stands for South Africa, not Spain, because South Africa, not Spain, is the S in BRICS, and Spain is not a BRICS country. And that kind of a mistake is okay if you're a 5th grader and this is the question in which you flunk your geography quiz. But when you are the president of the United States sitting there in the Oval Office and ranting about one of our close allies saying they're really going to get it, they're going to get 100% tariff because they're a BRICS country. Go look it up. You know what I mean. And he is just factually wrong about that. And they are not a BRICS country at all. When you are not a 5th grader and you're the president of the United States and you do something like that, that is a lot of things. It's embarrassing to yourself if you're capable of that. It's also just embarrassing to us as a country that you are the president.
Now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Making mistakes like that. I mean, like us having an official White House challenge coin with his fake stolen family crest on it is embarrassing. Him with the whole BRICS rant about Spain, which is not a BRICS country, that is also embarrassing.
There is some movement, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. There's some movement. There's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas. I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president. I'm proud of the first black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do.
Listen, but guess what? The guy we're running against, what's his name? Donald Dump or Donald, whatever.
What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
You know, just before he issued blanket pardons to everybody who participated in the attack on the U.S. Congress and assaults on police officers on January 6th, Donald Trump, you might remember, said at a press conference that he thought Hezbollah might have been behind the attack on the Capitol.
I don't know about Hezbollah, but I know that the FBI was there.
Which is what? He said out loud, Hezbollah did January 6th, and we really need to look into it.
If that were 100% true, it wouldn't be the craziest thing that has happened in recent history by a long shot. It wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be in the top 10 weirdest things that have happened.
Okay. Now, today, he says that the way Hamas has been able to make bombs in Gaza is that they made their bombs from condoms they obtained from the U.S. government. They've used them as a method of making bombs. There is no factual basis for the claim that the U.S. government sent condoms to Hamas in Gaza. But even aside from that, how do you think he thinks you make a bomb? And what part of the bomb includes condom? How do you think he thinks you turn a condom into a bomb?
Look, I have enough concerns about the federal government coming and knocking on my door, so I'm not even going to try to explain how you turn a condom into a bomb, but I will say that you definitely can.
He is the president of the United States. Imagine how the rest of the world is laughing at us about him, about this stuff he says.
Imagine how much they've been laughing at us. And now that we finally have a chance to undo some of that embarrassment, she wants you to be embarrassed. And again, remember, her goal is the ultimate destruction of this nation. She doesn't care. She doesn't want us to succeed. So she's going to take issue with everything we do. And right now, Donald Trump is doing so much of what he promised to do that this is literally all she has to act on. She has to ad hominem attack him and his challenge coin and his family crest because those are the only things she has right now. That's all she's got.
He said in a late night online post a couple of nights ago that the U.S. military had, quote, entered California and turned on the water. Enjoy the water, California. And while California officials laughed out loud and tried to keep a straight face while they solemnly announced to the public that no one had turned on the water because the water wasn't turned off.
That's not what I heard. I heard the water was turned off. I heard there was no water in the reservoir, no water in the fire hydrants. And Gavin Newsom is way too busy doing his little land deals and his, networking with the land developers and stuff for the California or Los Angeles 2.0. He's far too busy to be, worried about what Trump's tweeting out.
Actually, it fell to the poor folks at the Fox News Channel, who had to break the news from sources in Donald Trump's own Defense Department that no, he doesn't know what he's talking about here. He is making this up. The Fox News Pentagon correspondent reporting, quote, U.S. defense officials tell me they did not send troops to, quote, turn on the water in California, despite President Trump's claims. Oh, God, it's so embarrassing.
Are you embarrassed yet? She's trying really hard to make you feel embarrassed, isn't she? She keeps saying it, hoping that it'll elicit the response she's looking for. Where was this self-conscious sense of embarrassment the last 4 years, Rachel? Where was it? Because right now it looks like you're very conscious of what the president does and says and how that affects, the way people view you. But for the last 4 years, you've been defending a complete imbecile.
It's embarrassing every day. Every day, new, embarrassing, just humiliating, own goal, stupid stuff.
None of this is actual real embarrassment on her part. The left loves to do this. They love to clutch their pearls and be like, oh, I can't believe you're going along with this. I can't believe it. Oh, my goodness. It's so embarrassing. Oh, how cliche. Oh, I can't believe you're doing it. And it's like, meanwhile, they're trying to memory hole you on the last 4 years of. It's gaslighting. It's plain and simple gaslighting. That's what she's doing here. Is she's trying to make you feel like you should be embarrassed when you absolutely should not. You're getting exactly what you voted for. And this time, it's actually something that's good for the country.
I mean, and it's not just stuff that he's saying or typing out on his, device, whatever he's using to post stuff on social media.
Phone. It's called a phone.
It's also the stuff that his government is doing as its highest priority, right? They're insisting they're only rounding up violent criminals for deportation. Their violent criminal arrests and roundups have been so well planned that the very first one they did not only didn't target a criminal, it targeted a U.S. military veteran.
Chalk it up to first day jitters.
Who they arrested without a warrant.
Not unlike those J6ers that they held for 2 years without charges or warrants.
Trump is plowing ahead with his effort to start a new war, maybe, or at least start an international crisis by insisting that he is going to seize Greenland.
4 years under Trump and no new wars. Only president in my lifetime that didn't start a war. And I personally think that is the number one job of the president of the United States is to keep the country out of war.
to become part of the United States. And he keeps saying he's going to do that, but don't worry, they want it. Quote, the people of Greenland would love to become a state of the United States of America, he says. Quote, the people of Greenland would like to be a part of the United States.
Is it really so hard to believe that Greenland would like to be a part of the United States? I mean, 12 million people just came here illegally because they want to be part of the United States. Why would Greenland be any different than those people?
He even trotted out his family to make this case as well, as if it was true.
Did the people there that you spoke with and interacted with, did they seem interested in the idea of getting closer to the United States and maybe being liberated from Denmark, who's had control of Greenland for the last 200 years?
100%. I mean, honestly, I didn't see a single negative.
100%. 100. They want to join the United States. Oh, yeah. They want to be liberated. They want to join the United 100%. New polling in Greenland by a local polling firm today finds
New polling from a local polling firm in Greenland today. Isn't that convenient?
that shockingly, it's actually not 100%. It's 6%.
Anyway, that was Rachel Maddow's presentation on why you should be embarrassed to be an American and why America should just, go away so that they can sift through the ashes of what used to be the American Republic and find cool little tchotchke coins. Anyway, thanks for joining me for the video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.